Hello. So I felt like I was supposed to get on and tell someone that it's time. It's time to live out of your full capacity. I hear a snippet of a song that says, living half a life. Like you've been living half a life for a long time. You've only been living out of like a half, if that, percent of your capacity. And God gave me a few pictures of what that could look like. And it sounds kind of funny, but I thought of those RVs that you pull behind a truck, and when you're driving them and when you're pulling them, you have them kind of in their less capacity, right? And then when you park for the night and you go and you put it out to its full capacity, and there's so much space and so much room, and it's so nice. Like, wow, how could this thing that doesn't look like it has much capacity have this much room, right? Another one he gave me was a picture of like balloons and how you can blow them up just a little bit, or there can be like the big hot air balloons and there can be huge capacity in them. But unless you use it to its full capacity, what a shame, right? What a shame if hot air balloon never got off the ground because you're not filling it all the way with air and it can't do what it was called to do. Think of all of the beautiful things that and adventures and experiences people would not be part of if that balloon just decided to live out of less than it was capable of. Or if that RV just decided, the people just decided to live and use it squished and not use it to its full capacity. How silly that sounds, right? But how many times in life do we let our fears or our past experiences define how we live? Take, for instance, a balloon. I hate the popping of balloons. I was having to blow up balloons at work, and I would get scared when I was like, oh no, I'm getting it pretty full and it's gonna pop, and a couple of them popped. So I started blowing the balloons up less and less until I had kind of itty bitty balloons. And yeah, that sounds funny, but I've done that in life. I've gotten scared of the times that I've blown it, the times that I've thought that I had this and it's all going good and smooth, and then pop goes my balloon. And so I started living out of less than and living out of less than my full capacity, afraid to try, afraid to be all that God has created me to be, because what if it doesn't work out? So friend, if you're like me that has sometimes been afraid and let those voices win over the voice of faith and God telling you you can do it, you can live out of your full capacity, I think now of a race car and how crazy if someone only drove it 10 miles an hour, right? Instead of whirring around that track going 200, whatever they can go, like pushing it to the limit. The races, the amazing things that that car is able to experience. And yet someone can choose to drive that same exact car at 10 miles an hour. Or they can see the full and use it to its full potential, to its full capacity, and they can push the metal to the pedal, so to speak, and all the amazing things that they're going to be able to do and see, and all the races they're going to win. God wants that for you and I, friend. He wants us to live out of our full capacity. No more driving 10 miles an hour in a race car. We got this. We can live out of the full capacity and do all that He is asking of us. And He also told me, because it's not just us that loses out when we choose to live out of only half of our capacity. Others lose out too, because if we're not doing and being all that we are created to do and be, then others are affected. Think of like trees and flowers, the bees, the birds, they're all intricately connected, if I can speak, and how a bee has to go to that flower and to that tree to get what it needs, and then it pollinates, and it's just this magical thing that God has created. All of us are interwoven. And so when we're not living to our full capacity, if all the trees decided they're just not going to do what they need to do anymore, and all the flowers decided to just close up shop, so to speak, the birds, the bees, all of us would suffer, right? I know that you don't think that what part do I have to play? I'm just one little thing, right? One little thing in this. No, you're a big thing. And when you live to your full capacity, you're going to see amazing, wonderful things, all the ways that God is going to use you to transform this world. So my friend, can I encourage you? Live out of your full capacity, and you are going to see amazing, wonderful things come to fruition out of that, out of your choosing to believe and act and do what God is calling you to do.